So now answering your question of the intercept value here, 79, does it actually make sense when the house size is 0? So this is a bit of a mathematical anomaly that you just need to get comfortable with, which is this is a value that is basically drawn on the line over here and it just intercepts the y-axis. That's all it is. So when we say predict a house price with a size of 0 and we get the 79,000 figure, we shouldn't take that just because the model says that this is the figure. We shouldn't accept it as the truth, because we know that a house with no plot size, and it's basically 0 size, how can that be worth 79? That's just the things of a virtual reality and of dreams. You cannot have a house that is 0 inside and still worth 79,000. Otherwise, people will think you're crazy for even thinking. So you just need to be comfortable with the fact that due to the nature of how this mathematical formula is worked out for a straight line, you get this artifact value, which is the intercept value, which makes sense in certain situations. But even if you, for example, were to say, okay, what about house which is 1 square feet? That is clearly a very small house. But if we do that, and what you will see is 1 is keyed here. And if I run this, and now you can see that it's saying the house is worth $79,000. And this again doesn't make sense, because 1 square feet house cannot be worth $79,000. So this intercept value, think of it just as an artifact as a result of this formula generation that lets you do predictions using a model. But you do need to be very conscious to not put in silly values like this and then say, oh, that's what the model is predicting, so it must be right. So again, in the context of things, remember this was your data over here. So we had the size and the prices there. You need to do it in that context. Actually, this is, an average house size. That's where it starts from. This is where it ends. But you cannot have, a house that is 1 square feet, 2 square feet, 3 square feet. So even if you were to change this to over here, if we change this to 4 square feet and run this again, it just doesn't make sense that it's worth $80,000.